Hello everyone, welcome to the March 25th, 2018 edition of the Astrology News Report. I'm your intrepid host, Ron Berger. In this segment, we'll take a look at the upcoming planetary patterns and predictions. What's on the celestial agenda for March 25th to April 1st and beyond. But before beginning, a little reminder to viewers to please help out covering the costs of keeping this weekly report going. Just click on the link at the end of the video to make your donation. Thanks. On Monday, March 26th, Venus changes signs, leaving sidereal Pisces and entering Aries. Immediately upon doing so, Venus will team up with Uranus, which has been hanging out at the early degrees of Aries since April 2017. Venus is the planet of romance, of sociability, of appearances, guidance, and finance. Put those significations together with Uranus, the planet of sudden, unexpected events, and it's evident that this coming week there will be surprises coming from the Venus sector. Venus is the planet of love and relationship. Uranus is something unconventional, so an unusual romance. Venus is the planet of finance. Uranus is disruptive. This makes financial markets unstable. Venus represents young females. Uranus is the planet of revolution, thus rebellious young women. The conjunction will be happening in the sign Aries, a sign ruled by Mars, the planet of action. Aries seeks adventure. Aries loves challenges, making new discoveries. It's the sign of initiative. So, this could be exciting. The exact conjunction of Venus and Uranus will be on Wednesday, March 28th, at 3 degrees sidereal Aries. Venus remains in Aries until April 19th, when it then moves on to Taurus. Mercury began a retrograde phase last week on March 22nd. The planet of communication, data and information, the media, and so on, is not operating normally while it is backwards in the heavens. Mercury's significations get screwed up and are not to be trusted when the planet is in this condition. Mercury is in Pisces, where it is weak, because Pisces is Mercury's sign of debilitation. Mercury's dispositor, the planet that rules the sign Pisces, is Jupiter, and it too is retrograde, in other words, had a disadvantage. This pattern causes further weakness to Mercury's significations. Now, starting this week, Mars and retrograde Mercury are coming into a square aspect pattern. Mars projects its energy with full force to the fourth sign ahead of itself. Mercury, already handicapped, moves into position to receive this attack energy from Mars. This puts the planet of reason and rationality completely in the toilet for the next couple of weeks. Mercury is the planet of making choices. Best advice is to put off making any important decisions until after Mercury gets back to direct forward motion on April 15th. Another important planetary combination that has been forming over the past couple of weeks and will be at its height during the next couple of weeks is the conjunction of Mars and Saturn. This is a rather strong energy combo, which can produce some intense and possibly harsh events. Mars, the planet of aggression, conjunct Saturn, the planet of suffering, indicates enforcement, punishment, even cruelty. Mars, the planet of action, plus Saturn, the planet of delay, produces a lot of tension and stress. Mars, the planet of force, conjunct Saturn, the planet of focus, indicates concentrated force, which can be used where a determined effort is needed, for instance, to overcome an implacable foe, or in the face of a crisis, or it can create the crisis. We should note that this conjunction is happening in Sagittarius, the sign of belief, a sign that has tremendous faith in its own truth, that is, one's own version of truth. This energy pattern is available to all believers, all faiths, and gives the self-righteous a very potent force to use for accomplishing whatever their aims are. So, all ideologues are encouraged this week and next. By the way, Sagittarius is the rising sign in the USA chart, so lots of focused, crisis-type energy for the country as we head into April. The exact conjunction of Mars and Saturn will be on April 2nd at 14 degrees Sagittarius. Note that this conjunction is simultaneously in square aspect with retrograde Mercury, a rather ominous celestial pattern which further destabilizes the planet of rational thinking. Now, in some cases, a pattern in the zodiac combines with a factor in a person's birth chart, which indicates a high likelihood of an event in that person's life. As it happens, Donald Trump has a natal planet in such a position. The Mars-Saturn conjunction in the zodiac will be in near exact opposition to his natal Mercury. Mercury is the planet of rational thinking and reasonable decisions. Mars plus Saturn opposing Trump's natal Mercury creates tremendous pressure, a crisis that demands a decision. But meanwhile, the planet of making decisions is retrograde in the zodiac, and receiving that square aspect of Mars, increasing the potential for making a big mistake. So, this does not look good for POTUS, and by extension, the country he presides over. Another item this week is the full moon, which will be on Saturday, March 31st, at 16 degrees Virgo. Note that the culmination of the lunar month is in close opposition to retrograde Mercury, which is the planetary ruler of the sign Virgo. Thus, retrograde Mercury receives the energy of the full moon from its own sign, which juices things up for more retrograde Mercury-type events this weekend. The full moon is in Hasta Nakshatra, a lunar sign noted for salesmanship, for trickery, and manipulation. So, overall, it's a rather rough couple of weeks as we move from March to April. Best advice is to stay on your guard, beware of irrational thinking, and put off important decisions and actions for later in April, when things will settle down a bit. And now, before leaving you, my little pitch for donations. If you appreciate what this YouTube channel does for you, please help support it and me by visiting the donation page and making a contribution. Just click on or touch the donation card you see here. Thanks, and until next week.